Hello, and welcome back to Roslyn. If you're watching live on YouTube, this should be episode 30. Thanks for joining me live on Twitch if you're here. Very excited to be back in Roslyn, and with a very special episode here. This will be the first one I've recorded since the Plazas and Promenades pack dropped. If you've seen some of my other videos, I've been playing around with this in some of my other cities, because I wanted to experiment with a bit before I brought it to Roslyn here, which is the one I've built entirely on YouTube. So thanks for joining me, and I'm excited today to bring what this expansion has to offer to this area right here around Worker Square, towards the train station, in this sort of downtownish area, not too far from City Hall and with the grandchildren neighborhood. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're working with. So I think what I'm really excited about the prospect of is what we can do in this area right here. Sort of in between Worker Square, that empty cemetery, the edge of the yards here. This Briar Rose Triangle, as it's named right now, is a completely unleveled park without even a gate. And then this sort of triangle area down here that connects up to Roslyn High, this sort of iconic theater. You know, the hope is to keep a lot of what's going on here. I think it's really great. And then I think I want to, add in some pedestrian high density facilities, like a nice block of apartments right here. I think that'll be good to boost population, as well as add another sort of area over here in what really has been sort of a liminal space in between the yards and the grandchildren and the beach. So let's go ahead and see what we can get into. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and dezone all of this. And we'll wait for that to come out. I'm excited that this is empty, because I think I would like to move this. I'd love the idea of having a cemetery close to down here. I might try to work it back into the build. For right now, we're just going to stick it out here. Okay, so those are starting to pop out. I am going to come through, and even though these are very popular, we're trying to rebuild the pedestrian infrastructure here, obviously. That in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at our pedestrian zone. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this. We'll take Briar Rose Triangle. I might even come down and take this, because that has not been developed yet at all. Take all that. I think I'd like this. Basically just going to paint in this area from Workers Park, including a little bit of this here. There we go. And obviously you can see where this naturally wants to expand into here as well. And that may be an option. So let's go ahead and name this as to what we're going to call this. I'm tempted to just call it Worker Square for now. We'll see if a more organic name arises. For now, I think because it is so focused here on Worker Square, that's what we're going to call it, even if it is a duplicate name of the actual park that's right there as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come through and get rid of all the fencing. I want to look at where we can add this in. This may end up moving around once I have a better idea of where stuff's going to really go over here. For now, I would really like to put it there. So just pause that for a second. We'll slap that down. There we go. I think that'll work. Let's go ahead and take a look at our fire coverage. So really we could use more sort of down here. I'm going to go ahead and move this right there for now. Switch to the large fire engine. Just to keep clearing up some space down here, right? That's the objective. Same with this dog park. I think for right now, I want to stick this right here. A little space to work with. That's all we're looking for. Okay, I'm going to come through and do all this. So again, I'm going to call this worker square. And I want to go ahead and put, I think, let's try our residential wall-to-wall in here. So then we're going to come through and look at pedestrian roads. I wonder, what's the white cobblestone going to look through here? You can go. Now why is that? I'll go ahead and turn this back right now, because that's not exactly what I wanted to do there anyway. Okay, then I'm going to keep coming through with the cobblestone paths here. Let's see, I've been going 7. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So with the European buildings, I want nice clean grids so we get those pretty corner buildings to pop in, and that's proving to be sort of the challenge here. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I'm gonna back this out. I'm gonna pedestrianize these, and we need to move a bus route. So let me go ahead and turn that back into roads for a sec, and we'll get that bus route out of there. A lot of little things to consider here. Okay, there we go. That cleared that out of there. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the European, I'm doing the wall-to-wall. I forgot. Okay. Go ahead and throw this on there too. And then let's just see what happens when we start to pull this in. It's gonna work. In fact, I will even back it off of this main road here so we can have a little bit more commercial. Alright, this is nice. I'm liking this low look. Definitely looks like a sort of new development in this historic downtown area. Some nice buildings in here. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is kind of what I was hoping for. It has some of the feel of the European set. Like, look at this nice corner building here. In that it fills up the space here. It could use a little more, I don't know. Style to it, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Got industrial need. Go ahead and see if we can't meet some of that with a few more. Just gonna expand where we can over here. Let's go ahead and check on what we're looking at here. So we are exporting everything here. That's cool. So go ahead and check in on Crest Oil Group here as well. Not too shabby. How are we looking on power? We're pretty good. Cool. This is kind of cute here. Definitely feels very downtown-y, which I like. We still have a nice big yard right here. I think I'll put some cut-throughs. There we go. I don't know if you can hook up to this right here like this, but we'll give it a shot. There we go. Go ahead and upgrade these. Yeah, why not come in with one more here? Just like that. And I guess maybe there's call for one more right here. And we want to do the same thing with this. So big, yeah, definitely want this. Just a little cut through to that. Come through with this. And do like that. So there's sort of a cut through over to that bus stop then. I'll go ahead and pull this too. And we can do the same thing here. It's not really doing anything. Just come across like that. This can go. Oops. That. Okay. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. Alright, let me try something else. I think what I want to do... Alright, this is going to be a little tricky. But I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to switch it to... I'm going to take that off. And let's just switch it to European. Yeah. 'Cause I don't hate this, I just don't think it really fits here. Which is supposed to be like a very old feeling part of town. I think maybe over here, that wall to wall might be what we're looking for. It's kind of already in place there. Or maybe over here by campus. There's a good spot to think about that. Alright, so those are going to pop out now and they're going to be replaced. Let's go ahead and speed that up and watch this happen. Okay. Oh, except, right. Do need to be thoughtful about this bit of it. And that only the high density is going to come in with that European look. That and the offices. Which I guess we can put some of those in there. See if we get any offices anyway. Okay, we'll try it like that. That's gonna go, even though I don't hate that. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now stuff's starting to come in. You know, I'm not crazy that this has the parking lots in it, but I'm gonna try to be satisfied. We're just sort of up against the limitations of the game, ultimately. I'm just going to go ahead and historicize these so they don't end up covered in solar panels. Not that that wouldn't make sense here, but I'm just going to try and maintain a little bit of control. You can see stuff is already leveling up. So this is why I need to come through here and do this fairly quickly. Especially, let me just slow it down now. I think everything's sort of popped in here. Okay. And then, I'm not crazy about these trees for this now. Let's see what else we got. Maybe the chestnuts through here? And then we could even do some of these weird little spots, throw an oak down. Yeah. Oh, this is great. We can mix up our trees a little bit. Sort of the benefit of an unusual let's go ahead and put the oaks in the middle there. Again, just some variety. And I think that looks pretty great. That's much more what I was looking for, I think. I'm a little tempted to say if we upgrade this. Then I'm going to change the direction. And then I'm going to make this into trams. And then I'd like to turn this into that. And then I want to come through with the tram line. Shit. There we go. That cleaned that up real nice. Okay. Let's just see how many people are living here. So 330, 340 and climbing, I think. Let's just see if it goes up. Oh, it went down. Oh, there it goes. Am tempted to say now, like everything back to here should go. And then some big shops right there across from the high school. And then just some more residential there. And this is cute down here already. I feel like this is really, this was the right call. Go ahead and add some more trees through here. This is going to make everybody very happy. I do the oaks there too. Okay. Great. This is popping right in now. Oops, somebody must have won a game. I guess I was going to see about maybe trying to work this graveyard back in here. I don't know if there's enough room here now. There's not. Just barely. I was thinking about moving that back. We'll come to that in a second, I think. How is my graveyard death care capacity? It's not terribly realistic to get rid of a graveyard, but we are doing fine on crematorium availability as well as cemetery usage, so I am just going to get rid of that. And that's good. See, those cut-throughs are proving very useful for people trying to get around downtown here. I love that. Okay, this is far too large. Okay. Very nice. Just, do we want to expand it over here? Kind of feel like yes. It does get further and further from Worker Square the further over here we come. This all right here would make a nice expansion, even though it is Baymouth right now. Let's just take a look at this. Okay. So I do want to look at actually, how am I doing on power? I have plenty of power. These geothermal plants aren't really particularly realistic here. So let's just see what that does to our power capacity. So go ahead and pause that. Take a look at our budget here. It's cranked up pretty high. You have room for another oil plant down here is the question. Yes, but will mean destroying a few things. So our options are to destroy. Okay. There we go. We'll do that. And we can still actually no, I don't want to do that because that's going to make all those go away. So there we go. Okay, and that's going to pop right back in. Some demand down here. That in mind, I think it gives us a chance to look at this and say, okay, let me go ahead and make this part of this now. I think honestly I want to come up to here. Okay. And what's my land value looking like? Quite high, quite high. And this stuff's going to start digging up automatically now. Okay. Yeah, they're very excited to be part of that. Okay, so now I'm going to see about reorienting this. Okay, we can do like that. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And then I want to go ahead and move our bus depot over here. Actually, we'll go ahead and make these industrial. How about that? And I'll go ahead and upgrade. Can't occupied. Okay. Just so our garbage trucks can get out of here a little quicker. Maybe I don't want that connection. Okay, then I come through like this. Is that deep enough? No, it's not. How deep is this? 6. Okay. So I need to leave that much. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, this will slap down right there. Beautiful. And we can also move this right there. And why don't we see if we can put parks maintenance? Too big. What was I looking for? Road maintenance. That was it. So what if Baymouth has a little bit of the newer vibe? So I think what I want to do is come through and we're going to turn this into a new little spot right here. Elm Hills is what it's called right now. Go ahead and say that that goes up to there. Dividing line on Roslyn Street, of course. We'll call this Bay Square. So it's sort of in between Baymouth and Worker Square here, and I think what I'm thinking here is we're going to do some of that wall-to-wall look. And try to get a little creative. Make this feel sort of downtowny. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. This is all going to pop out real quick here. I want to look at, be conscientious of where I'm zoning, all the good stuff. Go ahead and bring it down to there. Go ahead and D-zone. Except for that commercial I'll leave out there. Okay. Obviously need to come through and get rid of the fencing now. Just go ahead and patch that right there so we can get rid of this. So Bay Square has the wall-to-wall residential on. And I want to see, does this have like the low density? Let's just see what happens when we do a 4x4 here. Let's do this. Okay, there is something popping in here. Let's see if it looks different from what we're used to. Then I'm thinking, come through and do these guys out here. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna come in as like low-rise apartment looking. Interesting. Let's just see. Also put in potentially a garbage point. What do we need? Cargo trucks, cargo, garbage. How do we get that? 3 weekly garbage trucks. So we just gotta unlock that. Okay. So I am curious to see if the high density, because the low density looks just like the high density, but does it function differently, I think is the question. And then I think we can rename this. So let's look. I want to check policies. Slow driving, sugar band. We'll do street music down here. I don't know that noise pollution is really bad here. I'm in a little bit along the shops, I guess, but ooh, yeah, these guys aren't happy about it. Okay. I wonder if we should look at converting more of these into offices or what? It is cool that some of the old landscaping has been able to stick around in there as well. I'm excited about that. We'll just add to that where we can. Not so much through there, huh? That's okay. Okay, so I want to take a look and see, you know, this is like a 4x4, 15 uneducated adults, 32 in there, so that's basically all the same stuff, which is fine. So we'll just make it all high density to make a little more sense. We'll go ahead and add a couple of shops out here still. Just trying to keep things interesting. Leave a little room for landscaping there. Maybe this isn't... Oop, nope, we'll go ahead and let that do its thing. Go ahead and put offices here. Do that. I wonder, can we put... Let's try the office wall to wall too. And back that off to there. Can't really see a ton of need to get across this thing. So do that. Cool, and we're getting some of our old traditional sort of commercial buildings in here as well, which is kind of nice actually. I love the way that this set up, very cool. And I wonder if there's some kind of nice, I know I've used a lot. Fit. Oh. Kind of like that. That we can move it off the street just a touch. Oh, except then it doesn't want to be centered. There we go. That's nice. So I want to go ahead and okay. So we're boosting population. Still having some noise issues down there. So that's up to 460. This is up to 380. Interesting. Sort of, I guess this is definitely a bigger little area. I think I would like to... I don't know if I like the white cobblestones through here. I don't know if I upgrade that. Yeah, it's gonna take it back to the old trees again, which is fine, but I think the darker stone is really the better fit over here with the old style buildings. So we'll just have to come through and redo our trees. Got these like oaks in the little accent spots. And chestnuts elsewhere. And then I want to come through here with those white paths now, because I think that's going to make more sense over here. Very nice. And then I want to make this feel very Roslyn over here with California palms. But we'll also mix in these other palm trees. Feels like it has a little bit of variety to it there. And down here, under the arch, why don't we go ahead and do some flowers. There we go. I like that better than the gray. We've got some stuff coming in over here. Let's take a look. Just go ahead and historicize stuff as it pops. Oh, that's not really wall to wall. for being honest. Very loose interpretation of wall-to-wall here. I'll say that for sure. The other thing I wanted to look at while I'm over here, potentially, is to say... This is going to be a little complicated. Something I should have been more careful about from the get-go. But we're just going to do this really quick. So I want to come through here. I'm going to hook up to that. And we'll hook up to that. And then I need to just move these stops temporarily. If I can get there. There we go. And this is just so I don't have to rebuild these lines, because the objective, or the plan here is to move over. Cannot find path. Interesting. Okay. What if we do a little like this? How about now? There we go. So, what's in the way of that? What's in the way? Space already occupied. By whomst? By whumpst? Maybe let's sever all these connections now. There we go. So we just slid that over. Maybe try to bring it over even more. How far can we get? So the objective here now is to be able to say... Let's just get rid of this for a second. There we go. And then we'll come back through and say, where did that train station go? Is this guy? Oh man. Are you serious? There's like just barely not enough room, huh? I really don't want to have to rebuild this whole track connection here. Is there a smaller one I can use? There definitely is. Can you spin around for me though? There we go. Alright, that'll work. Okay, we're just going to rebuild some paths. There we go. That's awful steep. Let's go ahead and take this down. Okay, that's not too bad. Now we get a nice pedestrian path right through there. Of course, we want to hook this back up. Like that. And I think we can go ahead and create a cut through here as well now. Path no longer serving any particular purpose. Here we go. And ideally, if we come through like this. Like that. Bingo. Okay. Then we need to come through, reconnect these metro lines. It's a little rough. There we go. Just back that up, get rid of this. That'll hook in like that. Move these over here. Okay, and then we can get rid of this. And that should all be functional still now. And actually, I don't see why we couldn't just... There we go. And in fact, we may want to go cobblestones through here. Yeah. Look at that. Pedestrian activity streaming out of the train station. Gosh, that is gorgeous. All those little ants running around down there. Do love to see it. And let's see, are people... So, we have boosted our population a bit. You know, this is a little plain, but it's very functional, which I think I'm really excited about. You know, it's a lot of just pedestrian pathways through here right now, stuff that could become developable land eventually again, but for now, we're content to just leave it as is. I think I will go ahead and convert this into an asphalt road. Wouldn't really make sense if it's already concrete to do that, but I'm a little particular about the look differences. And while we're down here, why don't we go ahead and look and see if we can't just upgrade some of these roads with trees. So that's going to make everybody happy. And I'm honestly going to go with something simple here. That's what's already there. I think I like the little palms for this area. Even though it is a very old neighborhood, and you might expect to see some large trees here. Let's just try a couple different options. Ooh, I actually like these a lot here. Maybe we bring back some palms down here as you get close to the beach. In fact, we'll go with these ones. They're a little lower to the ground, a little fuller head. I don't use quite as many of them, so there we go. Although it would disrupt some views right here, wouldn't it? Maybe we go with some flower bushes down here? Since it's already quite verdant. Maybe we even want some trees out here. Maybe some nice shady oaks along the cemetery here, headed towards the beach. Gorgeous. Let's see, what if we go with the row of the flowering trees here? Those are still quite large, but we do have smaller flowering trees we could use. Let's take a look at some of these. I like those. There we go, just a touch of color down there by the beach. I think that adds a lot. Okay, so we've added 2 new development districts here. Let's go ahead and check. Statistics, population changes. So nice little spike there for us. not my most inspired build, but we're still figuring out this pedestrianized street system, to be honest with you. I definitely am anyway. It's a lot to unpack, to be honest with you, and sort of how it changes the game. Let's go ahead and check in on it one more time here before I call it a day. How are we looking? Did I unlock that other thing? I did not. Okay, so we're definitely doing fine. It seems like in terms of our capacity. Land value bonus is relatively low. 1,500 people live there. That's pretty good. It's a lot of residential. Area focus residential. Maintenance is 3K, so that's interesting. That is quite expensive. Let's go ahead and check. I want to see if maybe we just pull this down a little bit. Hesitant to do that, but so this is already maxed out. This still has a way to go. Obviously it takes time. Land value, I mean, look at how this is lit up down here now. This is pretty impressive how the grandchildren, you know, from Worker Square over to City Hall is really starting to feel like a properly dense downtown to me. And that's really exciting. Now, obviously, Roslyn out at the edges is still very rough, but this area I think really feels like a place. The high school's here, obviously the trains and stuff. And I think this new density down here continues to be evidence that Roslyn has a lot of growth ahead of it. You know, Roslyn has been a very sort of low-rise, single-family home, really the distinguishing characteristic. I showed this to someone recently. They said it feels like LA, and it's definitely Californian-inspired in a lot of ways, whether that's north or south. But I'm really excited about where it's headed, and it's exciting to bring this new pedestrian pack into Roslyn here and sort of see what it can do. I think I'd like to do the next episode taking a look at this area over here by City Hall, which has sort of become, you know, the newer, we kind of got a bipolar downtown here, if that makes sense, and that has two poles, Worker Square and City Hall. Train station's kind of in the middle. But I think there's a lot we can do with pedestrianization down here. Obviously, there'll be some considerations, right? We don't want our police and fire headquarters or our post office to suddenly be on pedestrian roads. So some of the stuff might get moved around a little bit. But there's already some high density down here, and I think the other big thing I want to think about is what's going to happen to this train station and this farm. Because this is a lot of real estate here. And you know, I would love to keep some kind of grove on Grove Street, keep some kind of active farm operation down here. But this is one of the very first parts of the build, so you know, in between potentially a redevelopment down here, we can build in more around the farmers market. I'm excited. I think there's a lot of potential in this part of town to redevelop. So we get into that. Thanks for joining me today. Check out the series on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.